What's good, honey?
It's all so good, baby.
Hell yeah, it is. Look at where we are.
Where are we?
We are in our courtyard.
We are in the courtyard of our new home. We have, I don't even know how many anti-mosquito defense devices lined up here because as much as I love this property, I think we're going to talk a lot about how much I love this house. I will say there's plenty of flies and mosquitoes, and I've never really been one to be attacked by mosquitoes, but this has been an experience. Actually, the last house I got attacked by mosquitoes quite a bit.
Well, because that was by the pool.
Yeah.
But this is like, yeah, well, maybe we should give it like a little like snapshot or a video like in this podcast of like the house or something.
Yeah,
or especially like out here when you have the lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess all that is to say that we are moved in officially to this brand new house. And for people who've listened to the podcast for an extended period of time, you know our process of getting out of our last homes and the sort of chaos that we went through the last several months, not just selling our Weberville house and getting out of it, but then finding a temporary spot because we loved this place so much.
We're going to figure it out.
That we were willing to put our life in a state of disarray and deal with a lot of extra challenges throughout the last several months just to make sure that we secured this. And I literally could not be any happier in any other. This house is exactly everything that I could ask for.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, how do you feel about being in this house?
I love it. I'm going to ask you to move your mic to the other side so that you're speaking into it. But
sorry. So yeah, how do you feel about being in this house?
It's perfect. It feels like everything I could have asked for. We don't have a pool, and I like.
Yeah.
Listen, that gives me something new to strive for, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I love this house so much that it doesn't need a pool for me to like absolutely fall in love with it. You were sitting in the courtyard.
Yeah.
The thing that I love about it, and like. We walked
first. Yeah, the thing we both love about it is I know exactly what you're gonna say. So.
Well, I guess like the yard in general, but it should be said that we were in the other house temporarily. The one that had a pool was on the other side of airport. Beautiful home. Yep. And when we walked in there, we were like, and this is retelling a story, but we're not shooting as many podcasts as we typically do, so it's worth retelling, I guess. We walked into that other house and we fell in love with it immediately. Yep. It was on the way high end, meaning it was outside of our price range. But we were willing to overlook that considering how much we loved it. It was the first house that we looked at.
Yep.
And
we thought it was like everything we wanted, like the space and the pool and the yard.
I didn't because it was on the other side of airport, even initially.
Yeah.
But I was still like, okay, well, this is still really good and it might be worth the price. But we were like, okay, after a day, we were like, well, we should see what else is out there. And we looked at 3 other places, and this was one of them. And the second that we walked into that gate, I was just like, whoa, I really like this place. And I could just see exactly what we could do with it and how it would work. It was just like flowing to me. And
you had a vision especially for this courtyard.
Yep.
Which again, we'll insert a photo because at nighttime, this courtyard is something special.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
We have all these like lanterns that I hung up in the tree. They're all solar powered, so like at night, like all these cool lanterns that are dangling above this little seating area come on. And we got a couple other seating areas. Yep. Beautiful living room and kitchen.
Great backyard.
A rooftop deck, and you have a beautiful little witchy reading room of yours that I just think is adorable.
Well, like people were over this weekend. We've had people over every weekend, and people are hanging out and staying. So it's really a home that we've created this space that people are so comfortable in, which I absolutely love. But there were a couple of girls over this weekend I was giving them a tour of the house, and all the women love that room.
Yep.
They walk in and they're like, this is perfect. I need something like this. I want something like this, because it is like space that I don't have any work in there. Like my whiteboard's not in there. Like there's no work. Yep. It's my books and journals and tarot cards and candles and fresh flowers and a fur rug. Like
your
it has
whiteboard,
everything.
your whiteboard is in the magic closet now.
Yeah, that's true. It's with the laundry room or the magic closet.
So you have your like chores space and your work
my
space.
task space.
And then you have your free flowy feminine creative space. I think it's awesome. I'm such a fan of it.
And I wasn't like planning to have that space in this house, but like we had the office, we were going to set up the office and kind of use it how
Yeah.
we use at the other house. And then we realized that that one room upstairs is like way too small to actually like make it a guest room with a bed in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe I'll have like a cute reading room.
Yeah.
And I love it.
So now
it's
we
like I
don't-
escape up to that room.
I'll say this. So now we don't really have a guest room, but it's okay.
No,
I
mean, there's
need a
plenty
guest
of like places to
Yeah, to crash if we needed to. If we had somebody crash on the couch this weekend, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Which we'll get to. So, going back to the idea of like you having your creative space and I have my workspace, we walked into this yard and immediately I was able to see what we can do with it. It's got this. So you walk into the house and I'll put the reel up or I'll put something up.
We'll put something up.
You walk in, there's like the garages are up front and they're detached. So like it creates this like immediate wall and privacy for the rest of the place. There's also a mother-in-law suite above the garage that's
Occupied.
currently. We'll talk about it. We walked into the back. You walk under like the mother-in-law suite, almost like through the garage, and it's a nice high end. Like it just looks impressive as you walk through it. It's like a true
and you're walking
entryway.
up to like a tall fence.
Yeah, and then you walk up to a nice high privacy fence. You walk through the fence, and you're in this beautiful courtyard. We're calling it because it really is. It's very secluded. It's very private. You really can't see the neighbors.
No.
It also is 5G free because there's absolutely no cell service on this property. The Wi-Fi is the only thing. Is that Joy?
It's Joy.
Of course, she's got to continue to be a pest. Even here. Joy, you're gonna
She's
stay over
learning
there,
to
baby.
open the sliders.
That continues to be a
Yep, ongoing theme.
ongoing thing. So.
The privacy.
Yep, it's private, it's secluded, and again, there's no cell service on the property. So I also attribute a lot of the peacefulness on the property to the fact that there's no 5G, there's no cell service, which our roommate, technically, he's suffered from 5G poisoning in the past, and like...
Is that a real name for it? 5G
I don't know.
poisoning?
That's what I'm calling it.
I mean...
But this is like... It feels incredibly peaceful on the property. The seclusion and the 5G, I think, add considerably to it.
And like we've never been in a house that's like so removed from the street.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we're on we're on a busy street because our house is like on the
I wouldn't
entrance.
call that a busy street.
Well, walking,
compared to what we were on.
Not more foot traffic. Sorry, not car traffic.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people walking by because we're on like the end of like the start of a park.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
The neighborhood is gorgeous too.
Yeah.
There's hills. I've been running around the neighborhood. It's and like
I started running because all the walks we were doing. I was like, I want to run around this neighborhood, and I absolutely love it.
My other neighborhood, again, people who watch the podcast or know me in general, they know how much walking I do, how much I love my walks in the last neighborhood. You're fairly limited in terms of like the walk paths.
The 1 month neighborhood that we were in.
No, that one for sure. But the other one too, even like was fairly limited. Just in terms of like convenient walk paths, this has infinite paths in so many different directions. Even going back to the other neighborhood, which is really awesome. So that has been great. But the point of what I'm trying to say is that like you have your creative space and your task space, which is very, very small.
Yeah.
This entire house is almost a creative space.
Definitely.
Like my office is up there. I've barely even used it because like there hasn't really been, I guess like we'll get to the point of like I haven't needed to do much like typing away at my desk style work. So I have that when the time comes. But like I've been out here. I've been in the beautiful living room. I've been like even up on the rooftop deck with we call it the nest, where we have this like cool like
We call it an opium den.
Yeah, like
kind
opium
of vibe.
den, Moroccan sort of like it really isn't any of those things.
No.
But like it's just like
it's not used as an opium den. It just gives you that vibe.
Well, I mean like it's not even like really I don't even know if you could put like a aesthetic to it. It's just like a cool vibey spot up there that has an awesome view of downtown. We have like a nice day bed up there that we literally we put on a rope and dragged over the balcony to get up there.
But it's so worth it because last night we watched a beautiful sunset over downtown.
We watched a beautiful sunset and then we cuddled up there and then we...
And then you know what happens when you cuddle.
Yeah, you know.
Watch the previous episode.
You know what happens when you cuddle. You know what happened up there on that daybed. Sorry for anybody who's going to lay on that daybed. It's going to be a lot of that happening. But all of this is to say, the house couldn't be more perfect. Everything that I envisioned, it has come to fruition.
Yeah.
There's certainly like little things that we can like continuously improve on, but like we nailed it in terms of the overall appeal, the aesthetic. We have a big backyard with a brand new grill and some cool chaise lounges back there, and that's quite a bit of free space if and when we decide what we want to kind of do back there. We were thinking a sauna, maybe something like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
So all of that is to say that on top of everything else that we will get to, we have officially moved in to this awesome place. That's on top of the other move just a few weeks prior. We moved here. We traveled to Jersey, which we've talked about already. We did a trip to LA, which I think we'll dive into a little bit. And then we also, we were planning for our couples retreat.
Yep. And had our couples retreat.
Which we did last week, which was probably the most fun thing I've ever done in my life. One of the things I'm most proud of, just in terms of like creating something from scratch.
Yep.
Performing it, the fact that like we kind of, in my opinion, I would say that like we knocked it out of the park for the first time, but I think we knocked it out of the park, period. Like I think we crushed it.
I think again, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I don't want to go too much into the retreat just yet. But yeah, we absolutely did like crush it. I'm super proud of us and how it all turned out. So it was really good.
What were you going to say then?
But I think like as you were describing everything, like there's been, and we called it on the episode, we were like in this like bubble of chaos, like during that like entire time. And I think it goes to show like how we handled last week and this past weekend. I feel like we're out of that chaos. Would you agree?
I said specifically while we were going through that, we've talked about the last several episodes, at least the last several. You can see us scratching ourselves because I think we're getting. I was like having an allergic reaction earlier while I was sitting
just
over
like
there.
Wafting the smells towards me.
We went through a couple months of just like pure chaos where everything felt chaotic and whirlwindy, and we've talked about how we've rode that wave. We really let the chaos happen. We had fun with it when it made sense. We ordered things when it made sense for them to be ordered. And I said, I believe that the couples retreat is going to be the end of that chaos period and things will be ordered at the end. And I got to say, like, as of right now, it's not 100%, but like the chaos is over. Now it's just things becoming ordered from here on out. And like there's a lot of awesome things that are continuously becoming even more ordered in all aspects of life.
Yeah, for sure.
And is there something that you wanted to say? I mean, even like I said, we were even traveling from literally coast to coast during that period. So we were physically dispersed and chaotic across the country.
Yeah, but I think like the trips were necessary to do. We obviously wanted to like visit family and see family, and
no doubt
going out to LA was super fun. It was like one-on-one time with Aunt Joni and Uncle Robert, so it was fantastic.
We got to go to Nobu Malibu, which is something that I've really wanted to do for a very long time. They were gracious enough to treat us to that, which was
beautiful. Yeah,
awesome, and beautiful restaurant. Food was outstanding. It was certainly a very LA experience, I'll say that, all the way down to our waitress having a nose job bandage on her nose. That felt pretty LA.
For sure. It looked good.
She looked great. Really it was a beautiful nose from what I could see. And she was a little cutie, but like it was a very LA experience. And I loved that. We went to Zoo Culture, which is like a really famous influencer gym in LA. A lot of like bodybuilding, fitness style influencers were there. A couple of them were there.
And I was gonna say you saw like one or two of that like you actually follow. You're like, oh yeah, that person.
Yeah, one of the guys I follow, he's like a giant,
huge,
like
fucking huge,
crazy in shape, like
so natural.
Yeah, sure, sure. No, like. He's a massive, like freakishly big bodybuilder who I follow, and he was there, which is cool to see him working out and lifting. He was like getting filmed while he was there.
Yep.
The owner is Bradley Martin. He's a famous dude, and he was there as well. And there was a couple other like people running around.
Yeah.
That like looked at least familiar to some extent. So that was cool. Like going in there, doing a leg day, and like quite
And
frankly,
we got
like
for free because I think it was like a July 4th special or something.
it just
I don't
so
know.
happened that we got in on a day where like they were giving away
Free day passes.
It was and
awesome.
like I gotta say, it's kind of putting everybody. Well, maybe with the exception of Eric Janix or whatever his name is. I was putting her. I was putting everybody to shame. I was squatting like a motherfucker. I was looking jacked and juicy. Your ass was fat as hell. And there were some fat asses in there, but your ass was looking fat as hell in there.
I know. It was looking real good. Yeah, we were there to show off.
Well, we did. I think we did.
I know.
It was great.
It was real good.
I was actually like I wasn't in there to show off. I was kind of like I'm probably gonna like get humbled in here, and I didn't feel like I did. The only guy that humbles me, I worked out with this weekend. Jared Cardona, aka the Crazy Trainer, at the Crazy Trainer, kettlebell guy. He's like does a lot of functional fitness stuff. That was I worked out with him and trained with him a few times in the last couple months, and every time I'm like, this is like my mobility day. I've had an entire week of workouts already.
Right.
He's like, cool, we're gonna keep it light, and then he just like puts me through like absolute hell where like I can't eat. I'm not even like in my body.
But
I'm in a different place.
You also before that workout on Saturday, you ran 3 miles. So
and
it's
then,
like,
and I was like, I'm gonna run a few miles, and then we'll do some mobility stuff, and that didn't seem to stop him from just lighting me up. I think he likes to do it. I think he gets off on taking the big guys through these like incredibly challenging workouts. But like, listen, more power to him. I love it. I love the challenge. There's not very many people who can push me like that.
Well, and I think his whole thing is like he's a mobility and function and throwing bags and doing all that crazy shit. So like having you a very like bodybuilder, like lifting weights, squatting, deadlifting. He like wants to challenge your body in like a different way.
Yeah,
so it's really cool that you have that connection with him that he's like, let me put you through a workout.
And he does. I love it. It's like it's exactly what I need. I'm at a place where like with my workouts there, I challenge myself in a lot of ways, and I've been doing a lot better about going to the gym with the intention of having fun and trying new things on my own, and like even just like totally fucking around and like completely just experimenting with things I either saw on Instagram or I saw somebody else tell me about, or just like I was like, hey, this would be kind of interesting, and but there's only so far that can take you, and you kind of need a guide to show you like what is truly like for him like or in that world like the pinnacle. Like that guy, he just won like this functional fitness strongman, I think like in Chicago or Ohio or something like that.
Oh my gosh,
he
really?
won first place. Yeah, he's a freak show, and like I get to train with him, and he is in there pushing me to do better with that
hour
shit.
and a half of that.
For an hour and a half. Yeah, after I ran 3 miles. It was awesome. So yeah, I wasn't planning on talking about that, but I love that guy. That guy is dope as shit, and
he's got a good name. A good name.
Crazy Trainer. Oh, Jared. With 2 R's too.
2 R's.
But with an O instead. Jared C. What else? LA. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Stoic Sundays is continuing to grow. You had like your hot girl ruck.
Yep.
Yesterday, which was really cool. Our friend Janelle just moved here into town, so like she came over and Julia came over and another friend, and you guys, that was really awesome.
Hit the trail with our rucks.
Well, I was in here, like I just, this has been a place where like already people have like started to congregate, and we can tell that based on like just a few, like I can't say few, but we've had a handful of nights already where people are hanging out. You can just tell people just like chilling.
I mean,
it's
been every single weekend we've been doing something here. So like, so we had the move. Let's like kind of backtrack and so we had the move, and that we moved in that following weekend. We were traveling to LA, but before we even went to LA, we were pretty much unpacked. TaskRabbit had come over and put things together. We were waiting on some pieces of furniture.
There was still a lot to be done after LA. We were waiting on furniture.
Yeah.
The bedroom was like we were living out of our suitcase.
Yeah, but like everything that we could put away and put up like was done.
Yeah.
Then we were waiting on furniture, and then we came back from LA, and we had like a week to get the house ready before the retreat, because our goal was like we had the retreat, and then in the evening we would have people over, and we would use this space like exactly what we wanted it to be, like for people to meet and connect and like hang out.
Yep.
And so we were all like on a mission that
I'm being swarmed with flies right now.
I know, I'm sorry, Bub. I think you just smell.
I think I smell it because we haven't showered since our workout.
But
and
it
our
was,
walk.
Huh?
We walked all the way to Coliseum,
Oh, yeah.
to Squatch, worked out at Squatch, which was already sweaty.
Yeah.
And then walked back, and I'm just clearly a grime fest because I'm getting swarmed by flies.
Oh my gosh. What were we saying? The
retreat.
Oh, the retreat. No, but like with the move, it was funny because people would ask like, you know, when did you move in? Especially when they came over to the house, they're like, when did you move in? And because everything was done and like away. And people would ask me at work, like, are you guys done moving in? I'm like, yeah, we were done like unpacking like within the first few days. And like that just speaks to like us and our relationship and stuff we talk to our clients about and things we talk to the people at the retreat about, like as couples, like finding your strengths individually.
Yep.
And then like you just conquer and dominate. Like that move to the both moves, especially this last one though, because we had obviously unpacking, get the whole house set up, spoke so truly of our strengths. Like you had the house design and what you wanted, like as far as like the look of it and creating the space. You organized like the movers and the furniture, getting that all set up and the task rabbits. And then like I came in and we did like all the like small things of like where everything should go in the house, how to make it efficient, where to put things away to, cleaning up, tidying up, keeping like helping keep you on task as far as like, okay, this is what needs done of the task rabbit. And then like you did the like opposite for me too.
Yep.
Like we just like knew what our strengths were and like how to conquer this so that like everything was together.
Yeah.
And I mean,
You killed it.
we killed it.
Yeah, I know. And so that's, again, the move. That was after LA. We got everything done by that weekend.
Yep.
And the goal was that we had that whole week to prepare for the retreat. So you want to get into that now?
Yeah, for sure.
Because same thing with the retreat. I handle big picture, creative vision stuff, and you handle a lot of the operations and logistics. That's how our relationship has typically worked. And it like couldn't have gone better. That week was, I had been planning the retreat for months. We have been planning the retreat for
we would have
months.
like weekly meetings of being like, okay, we need to like worry about this place, or
what's the next step?
then
what's the next step?
who's going to donate things and like all that kind of stuff.
But like, of course, and I knew this was going to happen as you get like even closer and closer. We were like struggling, and there's all kinds of bug noises and stuff happening now. As we got closer, I knew like there's going to be a ton of shit that comes up in the last week, and there's things that are going to pop up that I can't even fathom right now. So I better be ready for like a really intense week. And interestingly enough, there wasn't as many like small little things that needed to get done. Like we actually got a lot of like the main stuff, or like even like the little details wrapped up. But the thing that I guess we didn't really prep as much until the week of was like, we had all the components of the day, but we didn't have like our spiel, like our presentation, how we were going to like connect it all together and flow through it.
Like,
and it made sense to us.
Yep.
But we needed to make sure that it made sense to the people that were there.
And like they were getting value from what they paid for.
And I've said time and time again, my ultimate goal is to be Short Jack Tony Robbins. And I have embodied Short Jack Tony Robbins for months, especially like in my client conversations and in a lot of the other things I've been doing. Like I do believe that, but this was my first time to do like a real Tony Robbins style event. Even with Stoic Sundays, I've like done some, you could call it like performance, because I'm public speaking to a group of people, and I come up with like a little bit of something that I want to say ahead of time, and then it turns into a discussion. But you still have to like, you're running a self-improvement group, so like you need to facilitate that in an effective way and like bring important topics to the table. And the same thing goes for the retreat, and this is my real opportunity to actually truly get on stage as Short Jack Tony Robbins. So I really like limited as much on my calendar as possible. I knew that the retreat was the only priority for that week, with the exception of all the other habits that I always do, and I would never skip out on: my meditations and my gratitude and my workouts and my walks and all of that. And I will say, even with making everything else, like cutting everything else short, it was still hard to get through everything, because I was waking up early every morning and we were going to bed late every night, because there was like a lot of prep and practice and run through and adjustments that needed to be made. But like my goal was I don't even want the inconvenience of having to drive to the gym and spend an hour at the gym. I was like, I'm going to do my runs instead I got a couple lifts in, but runs the entire week. I liked running in the neighborhood. I found it. I've been running without music or without podcasts on in my head. So I've actually been like meditating during my runs, which has been really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And something that like, I'm not interested in a run club, but I would love to like do that with some. I would like to like, I don't know who to even like bounce that kind of like stuff off of, but like I've really like learned a lot about even like myself through the meditative running. And
Really?
I've learned that it really opens up some incredible creative channels while you're doing that.
Yeah.
If you can clear your mind while you're running and not just like be like spinning and spiraling and analyzing and thinking, and you just like open up that portal and that channel, like I was getting like lit up with creative ideas for the retreat and Stoic Sundays and like a bunch of other stuff too.
That's awesome.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, and I was here and I was like walking around like a gorilla in the yard and like just using this space where like I had my computer set up at the desk. I had at the dining room table. I had music on. I had the doors open. I'm like smoking weed the entire week, and I'm just like using the space and being creative. I felt like Kanye in the studio, kind of like I'm opening myself up and like just breaking down a lot of like the typical structure that I have in my life in order to have it flow to me.
For sure.
And like there was stuff that I came up with. The idea itself was already cool, and it would have like been interesting, but we took all the components of what we had and like transformed it into like a series of exercises and events into like an actually truly transformative day for I think a lot of people, where it was not just like meaningful and like they learned something and they walked away maybe like with some with some things to like work on with their partner that will be impactful for them, but I also just think everybody had a blast, or I know everybody did.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of that is like the fact that I wasn't stressing out about it.
Nope.
I wasn't like worrying about getting it all done. I was like, knew that it was going to happen. I knew the more fun that I was having throughout the creative process and throughout like the preparation process, it was going to pay off on game day. And we showed up, and like by that day, I was physically very tired. I was running low on sleep. I really was like, I was not as, again, like structured in my week as normal, which of course like kind of creates a little bit of like lack of groundedness for me, which I guess you could say. I said I was smoking weed like crazy the entire week. But I still showed up, and I was just like, I'm ready for this. Like,
For sure.
I'm not nervous about this. I'm not thinking like, oh, what if this happens or what if that happens? I showed up and I was like ready to fucking go. And baby, you crushed it.
We both crushed it.
I
It
will
was
say,
awesome.
like, I believe I crushed it. Everybody there crushed it. We had a bunch of beautiful assistants,
Yeah, thank God for that.
handsome assistants that came out for the day, and it was the most fun thing and something that I'm just so happy that I've been able to do, and I just can't wait to see it grow from here.
For sure. It was, I mean, start from like the beginning to the end, it was perfect. And I think like you keep saying like, oh, you did have like your structure. I think this is like something really important to point out. Like you did like your things, like you made sure you got your workouts in, your runs in, like you had your discipline and the things you like personally commit to. And like you had those done probably early in the day, or if not, like you broke for your run halfway through the day. But knowing like, okay, I got those things done, and you kept those promises to yourself is one very important to take away. That like even when things get extra crazy, I feel like this was like the last wave of chaos. I feel like it was a book like where the first move was like chaos and like that month of just being like what's happening, and then this past week was that one more like here's another little like wave, and then now it's settled.
Aftershock.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you stayed very present and did all your things. I did all my things. I was waking up early to get to the gym because I knew after work we were then staying up to like go through what you came up with and do our walks and be creative and run through like our spiel like on our walks, which was super helpful. But it's important that like you created that then space for you to get creative.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I got to get all this other stuff done and then allow myself like 2 hours of being creative. Like that would have been like...
My get-to list was like half of what it normally is last week or 2 weeks ago, because I was very much like, this is, and this is not a me thing, this is everybody, whether you realize it or not. To be creative, like you need that space to be free. If you know that you have like, even like a phone call coming up in 20 minutes or an hour or whatever it is, that little bit of like stress, like it cramps your creative style. So like I just wanted it to be as open and fluid, and like I can, if I wanted to like just leave and go for a walk and come back, I could. I didn't have to worry about like anybody else or anything. And it paid off. It paid off
for sure.
Big time.
I mean, I would come home and you would like run through what you created for that day, and it was like watching, I would imagine what like someone like sitting in on like Tony Robbins like first couple of things of being like, wow. But I feel like you're actually probably a little bit more ahead than Tony first was.
I believe.
I really do.
Yeah.
I do, because I don't know what he first had, but like you have, it was so on point and it was so perfect that I absolutely loved being there that day and doing it with you. And again, shout out to our coordinators for the help that they provided.
Stephanie Welch, who was in the last podcast, Julia Dars, who was in a podcast about a year ago, who everybody knows because she's one of our best friends.
Yeah.
We had Alice Swang help us, who's a fantastic event coordinator, and then Garrett Daly, who's a good friend.
Again, who all just like signed up to help us.
They all just signed up to help, so thank you.
And then they're
to all
like, when's the next one? Because they loved it so much. There's a ton of little flies.
And I'll just also say, like, the space, and having this space in particular was critical to the experience for me, because if I felt like I was like, if we were like still in Weberville, like I don't
even know where
it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been the same. I'd probably have to go to like a coffee shop, but I wouldn't have been able to like really lock in. This was important. This place was important to me.
I think that's like a takeaway is for people to like when they're wanting to create something and do something, like making sure you are carving out that appropriate amount of time that you need. You're not feeling rushed. You're able to like be like, oh, well, I got to get to this next. Like, no, like this is your creative time. And then also being in the right space.
Yeah.
Or else like there's the distractions, there's this, like finding your place and finding the time is when you're gonna be able to get creative.
I wanna thank you for, first off, all your organization, all your coordination, making things as easy and seamless and streamlined as possible, because especially like the week of, I was just like coming up with ideas and I'm like, want to implement, and not only did you have to like coordinate all of those, but you also had to be ready to perform it yourself.
Yeah.
And we would like go on walks, and we were just, it was so great. Like the reason I knew that we were going to crush it is because it would have been so easy to like sit here and like put the PowerPoint up on the TV and just like run through it while we look at the PowerPoint. But I was in it enough, and like truly, I wasn't making up the things that we had to say. I know the things that we were going to say already. It was just a matter of like weaving it into a meaningful like narrative for the course of the day. So we were just going on walks without slides, and we knew like what the flow was and what was supposed to be said. And we would workshop it a little bit and be like, actually, we should probably like do this first, and don't say that. Let's move this around or whatever. But like we could just go on a walk and like script the entire thing, come back, and then do it in front of the PowerPoint. It's like we didn't even need the PowerPoint. Or the PowerPoint was like made better because of what we came up with on the walk.
For sure. And like, make the adjustments and throw stuff in. And it was really, it was just like beautiful to see it all come together on like that day. What I loved is like how easy it was to flow it. And like you said, it's like we knew what we wanted to say. Like it's about us in the beginning and why we're here to like present this information. It's about Supernova and everything that Supernova represents. And it's like our relationship, what we learned, what we did to correct our like things that we needed to work on ourselves and together in the relationship. And so it was just easy.
It was.
And
well,
I mean, you know what I mean? It was
I don't want to say it was easy. It flowed easily, but it was a lot of work. But it was a lot of work.
Oh yeah, it was a ton of work, ton of work. But it was easy to then present it. Should I say?
Yeah.
Like I was just like, yeah, I know this story. Yeah. I know what's happening here.
It was a lot of play. I'll say this: it was a lot of play. It was truly. We made it play as opposed to work.
Oh yeah.
That's the way I would describe it. Like. And I kept saying like game day. I kept like calling retreat game day because I did feel like we were like kind of practicing. I felt like we were preparing for like a championship game in a lot of ways.
Making sure we had all the supplies for everything. Like the nights before, we were packing the goodie bags and the candle making bags. Then we were doing like everything was just so had to be like prepared and like especially for the day of. And again, thanks to those coordinators because we were able to like be the facilitators, be the creatives, enjoy it, be with the people there.
It was actually very important that they were there.
It was super important because like
if we
were handling like all the detail things and cleaning up from lunch and getting ready for the next activity, we would not have at all enjoyed it. And I think the people who paid would have been like, okay, like we're not really getting to connect with the facilitators and talk to them about like their relationships and things like they're working on. And so it was really. And we were originally only had 2, and then those 2 others signed up that week of, and thank God they did.
We had great sponsors too, Man Bar, Trevor, who might be on the podcast soon, Delicious Beef Jerky, the Concord, who has 2 locations, one on MLK and a cool green school bus, and another one at the Persian Coffee Shop, their THC dispensary. We had Jake's Cakes, of course.
Gotta love Jake's Cakes.
The man, the myth, the cakes, and then
the ingredients.
And
then Breeze.
Yeah. Breeze.
Non-alcoholic beverages to enjoy.
Social beverages.
So read your labels.
Appreciate them too. But I guess the other thing I just want to we should just quickly go into the retreat is like it was at Sapien Center. That was a perfect venue for it. Literally in every way, it was exactly right, exactly perfect. We did the workout outside. Well, we kind of did a presentation first and an icebreaker. And that was about 45 minutes. We did an hour-long workout that was very collaborative and competitive. And it was, again, like, we had this idea of what the workout was going to be the week before. And then the week of, we're like, you know what? We can make this a lot more fun if we actually just like simplify it, dumb it down a little bit, not actually plan to make it a workout as much as just like an opportunity to like sync and get and create synergy and just like have fun with your partner. So we made it more that focused on that. There was a social hour for sauna and cold plunge, that was post workout for everybody kind of like hang out and chill. We did what we call a passion project, which was a fun opportunity for them to collaborate together and communicate and create maybe like a little bit of like intimacy and then put that towards
trust
in there
and
put that towards a fun little project. And then then we had lunch. And the last thing was
from Lou's, one of our favorite restaurants on the east side here.
Right, Lou's East Side. And then the final thing was they had to come up with a 6-month plan for themselves and for themselves as a couple to collaborate on a goal, a plan, what the obstacle is, and how they're going to overcome it, and then we did a project to help them visualize it, and we're going to be checking in with them in another
3 weeks now?
3 weeks roughly, to see how they're progressing towards that, hold them accountable. So that's going to be a Zoom call where we're all going to get back together and just check in, and we're going to have a few fun surprises for the couples who show up and for the ones who, of course, have like actually made considerable progress toward their goal. We got a lot on the horizon. We have a lot of really fun stuff.
And I'm so proud of just how everyone who like was there was all in.
All in.
And like the 6-month goals, you know, it was because we did really talk about like being a goal that you can commit to, something that is really attainable in 6 months, and to see them create it and make goals that are like, oh yeah, they could do this. Like, they got this. And,
for sure.
And then I think them knowing that like we're gonna follow up and check in, I think that's gonna help push them a little bit. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful to like see the couples like really enjoy it and get it.
Yep.
Like we were saying something that like we've been talking about, and we talked to on like with our clients, but to talk to a room of people that are not all of them are our clients, and to see it stick and be like, oh, Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not only did the couples understand it, but all the singles that were in
Yes,
the room
yeah.
also understood it. There was quite a few of them around, including our volunteers, and they all said, well, first off, they said that it was great. A lot of them said that they want a singles event.
Yep.
We've had a lot of other people say, hey, when are you guys going to do a singles event? And it's actually been like kind of a discussion, it sounds like, even outside of like us, that we need to do a singles event. So, and even one of the facilitators said, like, man, because it was Power, Passion, Purpose workshop, and that's how we broke up the day. Was Power was the workout, Passion was the passion project, and Purpose was the vision and the goal.
Yeah.
She was saying, if I'm dating a guy and we're not talking about purpose, like, then there's no reason for us to even be having this conversation.
Yeah.
There's no reason for us to be in a relationship, which, like, that's exactly like the kind of message that we want to be putting out there. If you're dating somebody, if you don't have like goals for yourself or your relationship or your life, and you're just looking to coast, then you're probably not listening to this podcast to begin with, and you're certainly not listening to us. But if you do want more for yourself and you want your relationship to not just survive but thrive day to day, then you need to have a goal for yourself. And if you're going into a relationship not just thinking, does this person like the same kind of music that I like, or the same kind of movies that I like, or do we have the same, like...
Do they have any food allergies?
Yeah, or whatever other stupid... Is he tall enough? Like, whatever.
This is penis curve.
Like... If you're going in like thinking about that, like you're thinking about the dumbest, smallest shit, and you're gonna have the dumbest, smallest life. Like if you're going into a relationship looking at like how could we collaborate on like a shared purpose, like that's how you have a dope ass relationship, and you find the right person who's gonna be able to go the distance with you, and you'll be able to go the distance with in more ways than one. So like that's what we want. So I guess to kind of hint towards what we're
future things
coming up with.
Yeah.
I'll say the gym is still on like
TBD.
It's still on the table.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still on the table. We just had a great conversation yesterday. Tell me I didn't. Tell me
killed it. That was my first time I ever heard you like having that conversation like with him, or that just speaking to him in general, I guess, in a business way. And we were on the way to something.
I'm just asking you to brag about me on the podcast.
I know. We were on the way to something, trying to figure out where the fuck to park, like once we got to the thing, and you're taking this call, and just it was seamless. Like you listened to what he had to say, you said what your goals are with this, and he was very honest with you, told you a lot of things, told you more details probably than like he necessarily need to, because like it's not like you have any money into anything yet, but he was completely wanted to tell you like the truth of like full transparency. And he made the follow-up. He's like, okay, I'm going to follow up with you on this day. And so you're like, okay, we'll talk.
So that's feeling, again, good. Actually, I feel a lot better today than I did even just like a couple days ago. I thought that maybe things were starting to fall apart there. It's definitely still on the table. I spoke with some people about content and getting more ongoing, consistent, better produced content. That's definitely happening soon. I'm going to be meeting with some buddies who work at a self-publishing company to see if maybe it's time to go full on with Unfuckwithable, the book. That has been one of the first projects I started working on as we started this podcast and as I left my job. But one of the other things that we're definitely going to continue to work on is going to be a singles event, a dating event. I don't want to call it a singles event, and I don't want to call it a dating event. I'm going to call it a
social. That'll be like the people we don't want there. We'll show you
exactly. That. It's going to be a social psychological dating experience or a social psychological dating experiment. Is also the way I'm framing it.
Also, just to be mindful, like you made up or you created this. So you had the retreat on Saturday. People were telling us about the leading up to it and the day of, being like, we need a singles event. We need a singles event. Sunday we heard it again, and you, I think, because throughout that whole week you were being so creative and you had to like just all these downloads and everything that was coming to you. Monday we were on a walk and you came up with this idea. It wasn't like you
had it. I didn't come up with it on the walk. I came up with it prior to the walk, and then I gave it to you on the walk. But
even then, like, so you didn't like no rest of your brain. You were just like going. You were in like such a creative, you were in such a creative space that you like allowed it to come to you. You weren't like, oh, I'll put that off Like there was something inside of you that was like, no, let's focus on this like right now. Let's do this and create it, and then it's done.
I've had the idea, and I've even mentioned it on the podcast before, a singles event that I want to do called Detox Dating, where everybody says the dating scene is toxic, and that's why you have to go to these singles events, and the dating scene in Austin sucks, blah, blah, blah. And it's turning the mirror on the individual and going, okay, the dating scene is toxic. Like, you know what? You're toxic. Like, let's detox you. And then you guess what? Once you detoxify yourself, then the dating scene is inherently detoxified, because now you're actually looking for and attracting the right people. And that was really like that, and Tony Robbins style interventions with people was sort of like the only idea that I had before just a week ago. And then over the course of that like couple of days, I came up with kind of the entire thing start to finish.
1000%. Even to like a very specific detail, and we have a connection with somebody to like create something that we would need for this, but like very specific things of like how this entire day would work out. And the words. Or do we have the words yet?
What do you mean?
Like how we have power, purpose?
No, we don't have that yet.
Okay.
I'm still working on that.
Okay.
But like in terms of like how the event would go, I get all that. And I know what I want those words to insinuate. I know what I want the message to be. I just need to come up with like the muscle, mindset, mission, power, passion, purpose, like hook to get there, or to like simplify it, I guess. But yeah, I know that it's groundbreaking. Everybody that I've given any indication to is like, that's kind of wild. And yeah, it is. It's like basically an opportunity for you to show up to something, and you have to be absurdly honest, or else you're literally going to get called out and kicked out.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's basically calling people out on your bullshit. But if you show up and you're honest, well, then you can be certified detoxed, and now you're in this pool of people that are able to date.
Who are also honest.
Who have also been honest, have shown up to something to demonstrate that they're serious about commitment and about relationships, showing up to say, hey, yeah, like I know I could probably do better. And you're interacting with people that are in that same boat. So like, I don't know, that sounds nice to me.
Yeah,
as opposed to like Raya, which is like, oh, you're of a certain status, that's what we're dating based on. Or like Tinder, which is all about like looks or whatever. This is like, no, we're actually all here because we're honest, open, genuine, and we're looking for the same.
And we're looking to like grow and find someone like in that same position.
And that would be willing to go and do something like this. So you know immediately that these are somebody that's like, that probably you have a lot in common. The more important things in common with, as opposed to like christiandating.com or something like that. I guess that's important to some people, but you know, I think you could go deeper in
Farmers only.
Farmers only. There you go. So that's so more to come on that. Can the camera see all the flies and like little
I hope
bugs
so,
and
because
everything?
we're doing this for the aesthetic and for the audience to enjoy
might
our
not
beautiful yard.
We thought that this would be a cool place to podcast from, but we think
come like fall, winter will be good. But like right now we're like in the midst of the summer here.
Talked about detox dating.
Yeah.
We got
Stoics. What were you gonna say? Oh, 60 Synergy. We'll be launching that. We announced that at our retreat.
Yep, 60 Synergy is going to be out soon, which is the 60-day relationship challenge, couples challenge. Not even a challenge, 60 days of doing certain routines together, certain habits together, working out, screen-free meal, daily affirmations and gratitude toward each other, vision planning on a weekly basis, and then a weekly
adventure,
date
like a
night
fun different
adventure. You don't have to do every single thing every single day. There's certain guidelines that we provide in terms of how frequently you should be doing these things over the course of 60 days. I can guarantee you that if you do these 5 things together over the course of 60 days, you will have deeper synergy, you will have more intimacy, you will feel more connected, because your habit and your routine is the heartbeat of your life. And if you and your partner have your own routines, that becomes the heartbeat of your relationship. And if you're not beating in sync, well, then your relationship has an irregular heartbeat. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do everything together. I want to be very clear about that, because I was telling you last week, like, I have my morning routine. I like when you're not home for my morning routine. I love when you're home. Don't get me twisted. I love when you're home. That's almost the problem, is when you're home, like, I can't kind of like use the space. Getting into a meditation is harder when you're home, first and foremost, because like you're moving around, or I want to say goodbye to you, or I don't know when you're going to leave, or whatever the case might be. And I just can't like use the spaces freely. So for my morning routine, I like to have the peace and quiet in the home.
Yeah, I mean, I wake up early so that I have that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're purposely keeping our morning routine separate. When you're home, it throws me off. So that synergy doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to be done together, but it does mean that your routines have to be in sync. And we've managed to allow our routine to be in sync. And 60 Synergy is a structured challenge and really like habit tracking program essentially for you and your partner to learn how to be in sync over the course of 60 days. And there's going to be a ton of value that you'll be able to...
What's up, neighbor?
Yeah, we are, I guess one thing that we haven't mentioned, we're shooting our podcast right now, and my very good buddy Brandon Tigas is now living in the mother-in-law suite above the garage behind us.
He's made appearances before on the podcast.
He's coming home from work right now. What's up, bro?
Not
Just
much.
shooting our podcast. You're going to have to come and do a cameo at some point.
Yeah. Maybe next week.
Okay,
Right,
on the next
sounds good.
episode. On a very special episode of Genius at Work. Yeah, my people will call your people. If this was a sitcom, he's the wacky next door neighbor.
For sure.
Really Kramer vibe.
Kramer for sure.
Yeah. The first week we were here, or he moved in, and what did he tell you? You're never going to see me?
Yeah. Well, we were moving in, and this was open. This extra space was available, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta live there." And I was like, "Let's do it."
Oh my God.
Having the courtyard, it's like almost like a frat house. And he said, like the day he moved in, he's like, "You're gonna be shocked how little you see me." And then he spent the next like 3 days on my couch, and I was like, "Dude, you haven't left my couch in like 3 days."
But for reasons, he had no internet.
I know, he was using our internet.
So yeah, if he shows up to this house, finds out like he can't get internet here. We're pretty sure this house was built to just supposed to be like one property, not have two houses on it. We have one mailbox we share, one set of garbage cans we share. It's our roommate.
One lock. We have
One
the same
lock,
lock.
and we have the same key. He's truly our roommate, not neighbor. So
Yep.
thank God it's him. Like, I can't imagine if this was a stranger.
It's on the castle wall.
He is on the castle wall protecting us.
So I was saying, with 60 Synergy, this is a guideline, a blueprint essentially for you for you to learn how to be in sync, build more synergy over the course of 60 days, because chemistry doesn't happen in the big moments. It doesn't happen in the big vacations. It doesn't happen in the fancy dinners. That synergy is built day to day to day in your habits, when you're feeling good, when you're feeling bad. And this is going to help you get into that rhythm. And then after the 60 days, you're going to find, like, not only are you guys more in sync and more synergized, but there's going to be a lot of great takeaways. Maybe you end up working out together more frequently.
Yeah.
Maybe you end up turning your phones off for meals more frequently.
Or you're creating that vision that you have set out for together.
Or you just have a little bit of a better picture of like what you both want after life, and you just go and attack it. So 60 Synergy is coming, and I'm really pumped to launch that. It'll be out in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
You can find that at supernovacouples.com. You'll just add your email. You'll get it. It's completely free. We want people sharing it on Instagram.
Is there a way, like, on this episode, like maybe in the bottom, we can put like a link for sign up?
Yeah.
Do something like that?
Yeah.
And it's nothing like in person with meeting with us or anything like that. Or, I mean, if you're here in Austin, and like obviously we could meet up, but like if you're not in Austin, it's worldwide.
Yeah. It's
You're doing it on your own time.
This is something that you guys do on your own. There's no like time or space for it.
Yeah.
You take whatever 60 days works for you. But we are going to have people added to a Telegram channel, or a Supernova Telegram channel, and then they're going to be able to, we'll be able to interact with them and keep them in the loop on like other things that we're doing.
Yeah.
And like, again, with everything that we do have going on, and I guess we're going to get into Click next, maybe there is opportunities for us to do in-person events for 60 Synergy, I guess, members or folks. I think I'm like swallowing flies. I'm like inhaling these little gnats or whatever these things are.
These, like, I've never seen these white things before, but they're like joy. They want to come out when the podcast is going. I'm like, what is happening? Oh my God.
Do you want to get into Click? What else do we want to talk about? Is that it?
I think so, yeah, because we talked, all the things. Yeah.
All right.
So Click. We are, sorry, there's white gnats are all over me. So we have been selected to be part of Click. And I would describe it as a social community platform for people to stay connected.
Yep.
And why is it special compared to something like Partyful or Meetup or something like that?
So it's an app. It's a community-based app. For example, with Stoic Sundays, I have Stoic Sundays listed on meetup.com. I have it on Eventbrite. I have it on Posh.
Okay.
There's also, I could put it on Partyful, but Partyful is more for like social gatherings and parties as opposed to like events, I would say, or like clubs. I don't think that's really like what it was intended for. And this is like a recurring event, so that's another reason why we use those platforms. But those aren't really necessarily great for messaging. And it's not great for like keeping people engaged outside of the event itself, or just like connecting in general. So what Click Social is a place where you can build your community virtually through the app. So if somebody sees something, and the bottom line here is this is an app that is just being rolled out now. They are launching in Austin. It's from the guy who designed both Tinder and Bumble. Like, this is like no joke. This is like the actual guy who did both of those things with some, it seems like, significant power and financials behind him to do all of this. They gave us these like incredible goodie bags with like a lot of really good stuff. And the idea is you build your community virtually. All of your events are posted in there, so it makes it really easy for your community to know when events are occurring. And you have all the messaging features.
So like something like Telegram or WhatsApp or something like that.
So you can, of course, explore and discover new communities. You can attend the events and learn about the events in the app, and you can communicate, share information, etc. So like with Stoic Sundays, and even like True Fitness and Focus and Supernova, we have Telegram for that. Some people use WhatsApp for that. So you're using all these different systems, and with Click, we're going to be able to do it all in one place.
That's really nice.
It is fantastic. And it's actually something that like I've had to figure out over the last like year. So the fact that like they're sort of solving for a problem that I'm relatively new to is great.
I'm sure like a lot of people do.
Yeah, no, definitely.
For sure. Like we had friends over yesterday we were talking about it with, and they're like, like this is how I set up my events, but then this is what I use for my communication, like what you do. Like, so having this all in one place is going to be great, not only for the facilitators and for the community builders, but for then the people in the community. I can like open an app and be like, oh, Women Who Breathe is, and we'll get one of my friends, like be like, oh, her events, these are all her events she has coming up. This is perfect. Let me sign up for this and this. Who else is going? Oh, this person I remember from last time. Let me chat with her. Like, it's going to be such a great platform for people to use. Oh my God, sorry, the mosquito
Can
bite
you
on my
see
shoulder.
how we're doing over there?
Yeah, I have this. I'm pretty sure we're like at an hour.
Okay. See, we're at an hour. Make sure it's still on and everything's good.
We're still good. Yeah, and right at an hour 53.
Okay, cool.
All
right. So all of that is to say that they selected, like, I don't want to like make this seem
like 8 communities.
Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like they said that they explored over 200 different communities in Austin. They picked about it's somewhere between 8 to 10, I guess, to launch this thing with. They're giving us some certain metrics that we have to hit, but they're giving us quite a bit in return from a support standpoint in a variety of different ways.
Yeah, if there's vendors, if there's like people they need to like talk to for events, what?
That's the other thing, is that it's a place for events to find sponsorships and vendors for their events too. So that's another like marketplace for that.
For
which
sure.
Is great.
And like this opportunity came to us like, no joke, like a week too late.
Yeah.
Would you say because we really? Well, I mean,
sort of because we
maybe a month too late. 'Cause
probably at least a month too late.
yeah,
At least a month.
because we it came to us when we were just about to post about the retreat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't ready to be launched yet. So we're like, okay, no, we can't. We have to. We have
Yeah.
a date already. We have all this. We have to announce it. And now I'm like, man, that would have been real nice to have
Yeah.
our retreat be launched with this.
Yeah.
But next one,
We have-
our retreat is so repeatable.
Yeah.
I said, we could do this in next month.
Yeah,
but
we could. We can
It's so
copy
repeatable.
and paste that over and over again, and it would be just as impactful for
sure.
each cohort. But we're thinking of doing I called it Super Stoic Sundays. You didn't like that idea, but
I just don't like the word super.
I know, but a bigger version of Stoic Sundays
Yeah.
where maybe we meditate here. We can get some yoga mats. We can cater breakfast
Yep.
or brunch, and just really do it big and have an opportunity for people to really mix and mingle and connect, and maybe even just make it a little bit more of an ordeal than the traditional Stoic
sure.
Sundays, which would be a great thing to do through Click. We have ideas for like I said, the follow-up with our Supernova couples.
Mm-hmm.
That could also be something that we're doing through Click. We have our dating idea,
Yeah.
which I don't know if this is a 90-day program, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to
Yeah.
really make this happen in 90 days because it's kind of a process. But in the future, that can happen through Click. Fast Fest will be through Click. And what we're doing is we've come up recently that we're or just yesterday actually, we have True Fitness and Focus, which is my brand. Which, by the way, another True Fitness event. So Stoic Sundays falls under True Fitness and Focus. I'm going to be doing a new monthly class at Squatch and Coliseum.
Yeah.
That is going to fall under the True Fitness and Focus brand. Monthly, I think I'm going to call it Meathead Fitness Focus Philosophy, where every month, every
What's that
class.
called that you love? Is it alliteration?
Alliteration, yeah.
Yeah, he loves it.
I love it. Fitness Focus Philosophy with an F. Philosophy with an F, where it's muscle mindset connection class. So we focus on a very specific muscle group. We talk about how to target that incredibly intentionally and how different body positioning and body movements might affect where the pressure is on the muscle, what part of the muscle you're working. And the goal is that it's not an intense, rah, go get 'em workout class. It's actually a very slow, very methodical, very mindful and meditative class that is actually philosophical in nature as we kind of walk through the concept of we are energy, and the more focused that we are in the very present, the more intentionality we're bringing to everything that we do, and that's how we want to focus on a particular muscle. When I'm doing a chest press, for example, my entire being is right here in my pec the entire time, and kind of expounding on that to some extent.
Two things. One, I already told a guy at the gym yesterday about this, and he's like, when are those starting? When is that starting? I'm like, I think the fall. Look for signage. But he was definitely into it because he's in there regularly, but it's a totally different concept of being you're there to squat, but why are you squatting?
Yeah.
What are you working on? What's your form? And then my second idea or question, are you gonna use different equipment? Because there's a difference in using a bar for something or a cable for something.
So it's a good question.
Change it up with
again, because it's not going to be about intensity, it's going to be about intentionality.
Yeah.
I would think that it would be largely body weight and free weight.
Okay.
And we would spend most of the time just using almost isometrics.
Oh, okay.
And just really lightweight to see how things feel based on different
Got it.
movements. Where are we actually working things? I would have to see what type of access I have to the gym before I can go any further than that. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know exactly. So that's good. I think I'm going to call it Meathead.
Yeah.
Which Meathead Fitness Focus Philosophy.
Yeah.
A slow, paced, and very intentional meditative bodybuilding class, essentially. That sounds right up my alley. So that'll be under True Fitness and Focus.
Yep.
We have retreats under Supernova. I also think that probably Detox Dating would be under Supernova as well.
Yeah. It's the whole relationship.
You might
and
get a
dates.
little hot girl ruck thing going.
I
You
mean,
might need a brand of your own.
Well, I think that would just be under I don't know what that would be. I guess be under. Who knows?
Because what
Yeah.
we decided is like we have Sweat Pals reached out to me too to get our community in there. We have Click, we have all these other places. So we're gonna brand everything under the True Group.
Yeah.
So it's different from True Fitness and Focus. It's the umbrella brand. The True Group is comprised of True Fitness and Focus, Genius at Work, the podcast, Supernova, and anything else that we decide to create in the future. You need a brand of your own.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I
Start
have my
thinking
little
about
hot
that.
girl ruck.
Yeah, no, you like you
And-
can.
and, like,
That's
this,
something we
like,
consider sooner rather
For
than
sure.
later.
And like just like having like a good like women's group and circle of like that we can do a hot girl
Poozle's
ruck.
Posse.
Yeah, Poozle's Posse sounds super fun. I love that actually. For like being in the backyard and like sunbathing or being up in my girls' room and like reading and doing a book club up there. We did like tarot cards, and from there we were thinking like, oh, how fun would it be to do like a witch night and doing like a ceremonial thing of like whether it's a new moon or a full moon, which I cannot wait for.
About a witch night. I am all about a witch night.
Yeah,
Am I
and
allowed
like
to be
again, this
here?
house is like perfect for it, so I cannot wait to do that. So like, there's
Am I allowed to be here for the witch night?
no, it's witches only. You go hang out in the mother-in-law suite with Brandon.
I'm gonna be peeking out that window at the witch night. I want to see the witch night.
We'll be in the backyard. But just like having this like space and like a community of like women that are just there to like support each other and grow together mentally, emotionally, physically, like all different things. So I would really love to have something that would cover that.
Let's start dialing in on a brand for you.
Yeah.
I think it's
That'd
time.
be super fun. And yeah, and then I guess Restora.
Yeah, that's awesome news. Yeah, let's talk
Yeah,
about that.
so, and then we can probably wrap it up with
Yeah.
this. So, been at Restora coming up on 10 years in November. And I think the doctors at this point have like seen more like where my future is, and that like I love like the coaching and the wellness part of my life right now. And I'm really focused on it. And there was chat about it like a while ago, and then our nurse practitioner at our office, she really is wanting to dive into it too, but we're going to be opening a wellness and performance branch of our office. So we'll be providing all sorts of things to get you healthy, get you strong, give you coaching in areas that you might need coaching in, hormone replacement, really actually like taking care of the patient holistically. Especially like in women's health, that's going to probably be like our main focus. Women just kind of get, unfortunately, like, oh yeah, you're perimenopausal or you're menopausal, like this is it, it's over. But like there's major things that you can do to stay healthy, keep your heart protected. Like you need estrogen in your body. For so long, everyone thought like estrogen is the devil once you hit menopause and it's going to give you cancer and you're going to die. But it's really important for women's health. And we want to like be the advocates for women and taking care of them again holistically. So they come in and they're saying their sex drive is down or their hormones are off, they're not sleeping at night, they're gaining weight. We're going to treat the patient and do a ton of lab work, get them on the things that they need, the supplementation they need, and help them with like a coaching program. And so what's fantastic about this is how it's just so fun how like the worlds are just colliding perfectly. Is we have obviously like our coaching program and everything that we have built over this past 2 years. And now this part of Restora is coming into it saying like, hey, here are clients that are going to need support and coaching and accountability, keeping them on like their regimen, helping them with their workouts. And it's perfect.
Perfect synergy.
It is perfect synergy.
In both ways.
For sure.
In both
Because
directions.
yeah, like 1000%. And like, it's an awesome opportunity. And like the doctors, and specifically Dr. Gordon, like she came to like me with it. And she was so happy that I was like all about it. And so yeah, Leslie and I are going to be launching that here very shortly. And I can't wait.
love it.
It's going to be awesome.
That's
And
going to be great.
just something like I love my surgery patients, and I'll probably still be doing some of that, of course. Like I can't imagine like not being in like the clinic part of it, but like I am having a focus shift for sure to be in that wellness and performance.
I'm pumped about it. The overall like theme is like we've been working hard, but we've been doing it in a way that's like based on JJ Ruesquez said in our episode with him back a few months ago. He said the show's called Genius at Work, but what if it was called Genius at Play? Like we should be playing more, and like all I can say is like I feel like all I've been doing is playing. Even this last weekend, like I said, because I was so busy with getting retreat stuff done, I was drained. I was having a ton of fun with it. I was playing. I was in full-on true artist creative mode, decorating this house. I decorated the mansion that we had the party in on Friday night. And even like coming up with Detox Dating. And I still have a lot of really good thoughts like flowing through my mind, but I was having fun with it. I purposely made it like fun and enjoyable for myself. Even when I don't know if you noticed, when I was doing my PEDs yesterday, I was like standing up.
Well, we were walking in and I saw you standing up and you were like
kind of
dancing a little bit.
I was like standing up and dancing. I was like feeling it because like I'm realizing like the more fun I have, the better things typically go, which are like is almost, I don't know, that is in some ways obvious, in the other ways like not quite as obvious as you might think, of course. And I gave myself so much more space this last week than I ever do to just like have space and just like let my mind be free after being so like dialed day after day, moment after moment for an entire 2 months almost.
Yep.
That just went on. These ones are coming on too. So even last week, I wasn't working as hard, but I was still like allowing myself to be free and like play a little bit more. And on Saturday, I like was walking and running and working out and sauning and cold plunging, just like all over the place with like I knew what I wanted to do, but I was just like flowing through it. And I just feel like right now, the more we play, like the more awesome things seem to come our way. Like the fact that you even have this opportunity is amazing. And like, if you were being, let's say, like secretive about all the stuff that we're doing in the background over here,
and I've been nothing but obviously honest and open with them.
If you haven't been as like vocal or open about it, or if like you were kind of like half-assing it, or if like they didn't respect you because you haven't like put in the work and like you hadn't earned it, there's all these like things that would have never presented itself. But it's like you're being you, you're being authentic, you're putting it all out there, you're being really honest, and you're still getting your shit done at work.
For sure.
All at once. And that is where cool things come your way, and like you're finding ways to actually enjoy all of that in the process. The move, we had fun. We purposely made the moves fun. I told you, we purposely made that garage sale fun. Like we're truly playing like we're kids, like we're living in a child society, I guess.
That's not a good helicopter. That's
Why?
That's the like life flight one. That's like
really?
someone,
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
My point is, we're running around like kids. Like I've been saying for months in the podcast that I feel like a kid again. This feels like summer in the 90s as a child, and I just get to like be a kid and play and create and keep my shoes off in the dirt and dance around and act like a monkey and live around the flies like the Lord of the Flies. We're Lord of the Flies.
You are definitely
right
the Lord
now.
of the Flies
I am
right
the
now.
Lord of the Flies today.
You are
and
the fly.
Tonight, and you know what? I kind of like it. I kind of like being Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. Well, it is fun. Let's keep playing.
Let's keep playing, boo. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Cool. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Hope you enjoyed.
See ya.